Welcome to Is It Good? The M4A1 Assault Rifle in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. This video will give you a closer look at the M4A1, going through its stats, pros, cons, effective attachments, and lastly a verdict on if the gun is what could be considered good. We're going to kick off by introducing you to the M4A1 as a gun. In reality, the M4A1 is part of the M4 carbine family, which goes back to the early versions of the M16, all of them based off the original Armalite AR-15. The M4 is essentially a shorter, lighter version of the M16A2 assault rifle. The weapon is gas-operated, it's air-cooled, magazine-fed, has a selective fire option, and is a shoulder-fired weapon. The M4 was a shortened alternative to the M16A2, allowing for sufficiently better close-quarters combat. The M4 sported a selective fire of semi-auto and 3-round burst, while the M4A1, A1 referring to the variation type, possesses the capability of fully automatic firing, opposed to burst. The M4A1 is intended for special operations use, and is carried by badasses such as the Army Rangers, Special Forces, Navy SEALs, and Air Force Combat Control Teams. The M4A1 is effectively liked for its close quarters abilities, which arise from the weapon's compactness and firepower. And the weapon is also useful in urban warfare with an effective range of 500 to 600 meters. In Call of Duty, the M4A1 has been in Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2, and most recently Modern Warfare 3. And its relatives, the M16 and Commando, have also made Call of Duty appearances. The M4A1 is more of a tactically oriented gun in Call of Duty, meant to show you the ropes, which makes sense considering it's locked off the bat at level 4 in Modern Warfare 3. Opposed to just firepower, the M4A1 makes use of its great handling. The M4A1's low-ish recoil allows for accuracy when engaging targets at medium to long ranges with burst techniques, which will compensate for its low damage at those ranges. The M4A1's high rate of fire gives you the advantage in closer range trigger squeeze combat when you're able to pop off the most shots the quickest. Now we're going to drop some analytic statistics on you, so pay attention and check the description if you missed any. The M4A1 has an ammo capacity of 30 rounds and 45 with extended mags. The M4A1 is locked at level 4, right alongside your custom classes, so it's pretty much default. The M4A1 has a round per minute count of 780, which is the second highest of the ARs. The M4A1 has a headshot multiplier of 1.4 times damage. The M4A1 will deal 42 damage for every close range hit and 20 for every long range hit. The M4A1 has a likely bullets to kill count of 3 at close range and 5 at long range. The M4A1's shot drop-off begins at 20.32 meters and will end at 35.56 meters. The M4A1 has a recoil plot that is moderately low. The M4A1 reloads in 2.03 seconds normally and 2.36 seconds with an empty clip. The M4A1 can be raised up in 0.75 seconds and dropped down in 0.45 seconds. The M4A1 sights have an ADS time of 0.30 seconds and will provide 1.35 times magnification. The M4A1's iron sights cover approximately 14.5% of the screen when ADS. Lastly, the M4A1 has a hip mobility of 90% and an ADS mobility of 40%, the same with all other assault rifles. After seeing these stats, let's put them into different words with some pros and cons. First, for the pros. The M4A1 has a high fire rate, and that fire rate is accompanied by a generous damage. All things considered, the M4A1 is fairly accurate. It also has a tolerable recoil. And lastly, you get all of this right off the start. To the cons. The M4A1 has a disappointing range, making for a long-range disadvantage. It also has slightly obstructive iron sights, but they aren't going to kill you. The M4A1 is a respectively versatile weapon, so it tends to be fine when you experiment with its add-ons. Though, as with almost all guns, the M4A1 tends to capitalize on its strengths with specific attachments and proficiencies. Here are some of the add-ons we would recommend you try when using the M4A1. The suppressor will take you off the minimap when you fire, giving you a stealth approach to combat. The suppressor does, however, reduce the weapon's long-range damage, but the M4A1 isn't a long-range weapon to begin with, and most of the combat you experience will not branch into long enough range for the M4A1 to actually make you angry. So keeping this stuff in mind, the suppressor is as effective as it should be on the M4A1, and that is why we recommend you should try it. Extended mags is going to help you overcome the M4A1's high rate of fire in pair with its average size clip. These two factors together will make it seem as though the M4A1 is always running out of ammo. Extended mags should fix that notion if it's bothering you. Optics are a clear option because of the M4A1's slightly obstructive iron sights, though if you can handle them, it's great to try out some other attachments. On to proficiencies. Kick, one of the most commonly used proficiencies for assault rifles, knows its place with the M4A1. The M4A1 was built with a high rate of fire and a generous recoil. Those two don't seem to mix, but strap-on kick and the M4A1 seems to tone down in recoil, benefiting medium to long-range skirmishes, which the M4A1 could definitely use help on. Because kick is unlocked first anyways, there is no shame in keeping it in effect, as it will make a noticeable difference while using the M4A1 in firefights. Accuracy improvements will have a similar effect to kick, only more specific. Breath and stability will definitely improve the M4A1's performance at longer ranges, and focus, as I have noticed personally, improves the weapon in firefights because you will be able to concentrate your fire even while being hit, and that can end up being a huge difference. Now it's time for the Is It Good verdict on the M4A1. First, its base rating. This is the rating for the gun as its basic form, with no attachments or proficiencies. We give the M4A1 3 stars, because, despite a few flaws, the M4A1 can sure as hell handle itself in combat, and will surprise you when you remember that it's the first unlocked AR. For the overall rating, that's the weapon at its maximum effectiveness in terms of any and all attachments, proficiencies, perks. This is as good as the gun is ever going to get, in our opinions, of course. We give the M4A1 4.5 stars in the overall rating section. This is a stellar gun any way you put it. Even though long-range fights may be a struggle, the M4A1 will almost always be able to do its job well. And with the inclusion of things like optics, suppressor, extended mags, kick, focus, the M4A1 will continue to get better, and so will you. Next up, the final rating on the IIG scale. Is it awesome, great, really good, good, decent, gimped, or Terribad? Let's find out. Hit the thing. Okay. Here we go. And it's great! We gave the M4A1 the great rating for two big reasons. One, it's an all-around, versatile, effective assault rifle that, in most situations, performs at the levels of the ACR, G36E, etc., and sometimes will feel even more comfortable than some of those guns. And two, it does all this as a level 4 gun. One of the first things you unlock. It's important to keep in mind, any peeves you have with the M4A1, you have with a starting gun. We think the M4A1 is a great gun, and I have used the crap out of it. But I have also seen people who had never even tried it before. So please, do yourself a favor. If you haven't used it enough, or even at all, go back and give the M4A1 a go. It might be a challenge. It might be a great revelation for you and how you play. The M4A1 is almost sure to surprise, and that is why we love it. Until next time, this has been Is It Good for the M4A1 Assault Rifle in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Stay frosty, my friends.